Yeah, so we'll get started with the APPSC Group 2 mains. So initially we will look at the part B, section B of paper 2. So which is basically science and technology. So we'll cover comprehensively the topics under science and technology, which covers around 75 marks. Uh, Apart from this, we also have included the topics of environment and ecosystem and waste management and pollution control. So initially we'll go with the part two, the part one of section B, which is technology missions, policies and applications. So if you so they have basically categorized these subtopics under the technology missions, policies and applications. So initially the first one is the national science and tech policy, recent science, technology and innovation policies. So if you ask me about the national science and technology policy, there are actually five policies that have been uh, coming that have taken place since the independence of India. So we have 53, and next we had it in 1983, and we also had it in 2003, 2013, and we also had the most recent one being in 2020. All these are named under different national science and tech policies, innovation policies. So that is the first subtopic. So we'll deal with it initially. So if you ask me, the recent science, technology and innovation policy, the most important one being the science and tech innovation policy 2013. Just why usually they say it as STIP, right? Science and tech innovation policy 2013, which is the most comprehensive one. And the 2021 has been under the draft policy. It has not been come into force yet. It has been drafted. It has been prepared, but it did not come under the implementation. So if we talk about this innovation policy, we need to talk about various aspects like the key features. Basically, you have certain features or the key features of this policy. So the most so like if you ask me, like this, it contains basic components like developing the scientific temper among all the sections of the society. So it is about making careers in science, technology, research, and other innovation, which is attractive enough for the talented and the bright minds of the India. They also talk about establishing world-class infrastructure in the field of science and technology. World-class infrastructure, with respect to the R&D in science and technology. They also want the science and technology to contribute to the economic growth. So S&T in economic growth. They want to take the advantage of the science and technology. The contributions of the science, which they want to contribute it to the economic growth of the India. And it also aspires India to be in the top five countries among the world in aspect of science by 2020. They want to put India in the top 5 countries in the world with respect to the science and technology capabilities. But if you consider this R&D thing with respect to the GDP, basically in science and technology, India is just standing at 0.6 to 0.66 percentage of R&D in science and tech with respect to GDP, of GDP. That is the place of India with respect to the science and technology. So, with respect to science and technology, research and development, India is using around 0.6 to 0.66% of the value of the R&D of science and tech in India. But whereas if you consider the countries like USA, Israel, USA is around like 3.5% of GDP. Israel is around 5%. The value of the research and development of science and technology in Israel is around like 5.6% of the GDP, of their GDP. So considering the percentage of this value, it is very low in India. Of course, basically this research and development usually helps in taking big leaps with respect to the technology and science, so which can put or give a greater advantage with respect to the development of economy as well, because it can lead to a lot of things where it can improve the employment opportunities, the standard of living. It can tackle various aspects, if the benefits of the R&D. So that's why we do not have that much of world class infrastructure. So basically there are few institutes in India like IIT Bombay. There are few institutes in India which have a good amount of infrastructure, capable infrastructure with respect to science and technology. Whereas if you consider other countries like mostly European countries like Germany, like if you consider like Israel, or if you consider USA, other countries, they have a good amount of research and development capabilities, because they are investing that much amount. Also, apart from that, if you consider the companies, other countries like keeping apart the public sector or the public entity, you take like private managements like private institutions, not not only academic institutions, like if you like corporate sectors with respect, if you take Amazon, Apple, Meta, if you take South Korean companies like Samsung, and Chinese company like Huawei, they are investing good amount of good amount of their expenditure in R&D. The spending in R&D is very much high. Yes, but with respect to India, if you consider, there are there are institutes like Indian Council of Medical Research, Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology. They are using around like 7%, 3%. If you consider like India is having more amount of R&D in DRDO, and like 19% in the Department of Space. These are the entities. You can note it down if you want, because I'm not writing it here clearly. Yes, as I said, like you can take the values, like if you consider the research and development as a percentage share of GDP. Basically, those figures were in 2017. Like South Korea is doing around 4.6%. Israel is like 4.5%. USA is 2.8%. Yes. There are some more other key features in this Science and Tech Innovation Policy 2013. But they also want a PPP kind of model, public-private partnership kind of mode, where they can leverage the private sector participation in R&D with respect to science and technology. And also the one more thing is like even though you have good amount of R&D and you are coming with a good product, if the cost effective innovations have not come out, because if you consider a product like you're buying it for 100 rupees, it is available to the common people. If the same product is available for 10,000 rupees, consider like innovation which has been done in the field of medicine. If the product is available for 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees, and if the same product is available for 500 rupees, it is more cost effective in terms of innovation. So it will make it closer to the usage of the common people. So that is also one of the things like fostering cost effective innovations. They also want to create a very robust national innovation system. That is also one of the key features in that 2013 ST Science and Technology Innovation Policy. Apart from that, they also want, because see, basically research and development basically is involved at PhD levels, because after graduation and post graduation, most of the research and development is done at levels of PhD. At the levels of PhD. So they now want to increase the number of full-time R&D personnel in India to 66% by at least. That is the minimum value by 66% of the present strength in 2013. So by 5 years, they wanted to achieve it in 5 years. So by 2018, they want to achieve around like 66%, at least 66%, rather or equal to 66% of the R&D personnel in India. What are the key features of it? If you put like what are the set goals or targets or aspirations of the policy, they are also focusing on IPR, intellectual property rights. So they want to make any necessary changes required in the policy of IPR, so that it can be used for the social good. And they also want to create some kind of good provisions between investors and inventors, because see, investors are very much important as well as inventors, because the funding and the other financial resources or any other resources that are necessary for R&D comes from investors, be it public sector or private participation. So the policy also aspires to create certain kind of provisions between the investors and the inventors. Okay. It would be better if you take notes of this, because these points may be asked in the MCQs. Like they want to, which science and tech policy talks about inculcating scientific temper. For that, you need to say scientific temper has been a part of 2013 Science and Tech Innovation Policy. So, like intellectual property rights include, if you talk about intellectual property rights, they also, as I said, they want to create a good ecosystem between investors and inventors. So, like intellectual property rights include like trademarks, copyrights, patents, and there are other things like database designs and database rights and designs, etc., with respect to the intellectual property rights. So these are the main topics or the points or the key aspirations and features in the science and tech innovation policy. So next time we'll come with the 2020 draft policy and other aspirations of India. So yeah, and next we'll followed by that we will talk about national strategies and missions. Like other missions include various kinds of like science and technology missions. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.